Commercial real estate is, investable, high quality
Yeah.
commercial real estate globally is 19 trillion,
Wow.
8 trillion.
Jeez. Hi, this is Kevin from Alpha Growth. We're here at Crypto Summit 2018. I'm here with Abel from Abstract Tokenization. Abel, how are you?
Thanks for having me, Kevin. I'm doing well.
Tell me about your company.
Yeah, so Abstract Tokenization is a service platform specifically being built for commercial real estate sponsors to automate everything from the technical, operational, legal, and servicing functions of a security token offering. So we're doing this specifically with a combination of blockchain technology as well as some more normal technology, but smart contracts, token structuring for regulatory compliance, building into each token security laws compliance, transfer restrictions, and so forth. Distributed ledger technology, so once we fractionalize the ownership of a commercial real estate asset, we're actually going to be recording that on whether it's a public blockchain like Ethereum and holding some of the private details on our own servers behind sort of firewall, if you will. Or we're also building our platform so we can accommodate R3 Corda, Hyperledger Fabric, and some of the private permissioned ledgers and blockchains that are out there. And ultimately, the last piece of it is the lifecycle management of the token. And so servicing, the cap table servicing, how do you do reporting, how do you do distribution processing? Right now, in the commercial real estate world, these processes are very inefficient, often done manually. I mean, literally people are writing a check out by hand, putting an envelope and sending it off. And so if we want to move in this new era of opening up access for more folks around the world to actually own a piece of land, then we need to automate that back end. And so if you have, let's say, 50,000 investors in your cap table, there's no way you can do that manually, and it would be completely cost prohibitive. What we do is you use smart contracts to automate the reporting, automate the distribution processing. It's all handled, and there's nothing that needs to be done manually anymore.
That's so cool. How big is the market? You're talking about commercial real estate?
Yeah, so commercial real estate is investable, high quality commercial real estate globally is 19 trillion, 8 trillion.
Jeez.
Very large market, 8
man.
trillion in the US, and even more so if you look at the global just total real estate market is 280 trillion. And what we found, so the largest asset class in the world, and what we found is that in 2017, only 1.4 trillion of that 280 trillion was exchanged. And so, a third of a percent of liquidity for the largest asset class in the world. So, we know this needs to change. We've spoken with lots of folks, both sponsors, which are commercial real estate issuers, developers, operators, as well as commercial real estate investors, and their number one complaint is lack of liquidity. So institutional quality real estate typically comes at a high investment minimum of 100,000 and up, and also you're locked up typically for anywhere 5, 7 to 10 years. So we're lowering that barrier to access, lowering that minimum from 100,000 to $100, and each commercial real estate sponsor customer can set their own parameters of what they want their limits to be, but we can support as low as $100 investment contribution, and we're opening it up using Reg S for international investors as well as Reg A+, opening it up to non-accredited investors in this global capital pool, including the 2 billion unbanked people in the world, can now actually invest in real estate and own land.
That's so cool. 1 month from now, you guys, what's going on?
And so, for us, we're raising capital for our own company through a security token offering, as well as a bit of a hybrid
1 month
approach.
away, you said?
Starting next month,
Wow.
And then our platform is we're building right now, and we're set to go live starting in January.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to tell the viewers?
Look, I think one of the most important things, right, is we look at adoption of both blockchain technologies as well as traditional financial world and institutional investor adoption to start investing into cryptocurrencies, which for us we're looking at tokenized securities, also called digital assets. It's essentially a compliant version of a utility token that's actually asset backed and that actually has investor rights and protections that's tied to something, ownership in something, and or a revenue or profit stream.
Yes.
So these are all the kind of things that institutional investors and many smart investors want to see, right? Because now there's it's defined. What happens if the company gets acquired? What happens to the tokens I'm holding? Well, I know what happens. I'm actually going to get a piece of that exit, and a pro rata percentage of the sales proceeds because of the compliance built in, because of the tie to the ownership. And so for us, we think that's very important, and we also think it's extremely important for digital asset custody.
Yes.
So having there's folks like BitGo and Prime Trust. There's SEC qualified custodians. So now as institutional investors know that their money's safe. It's insured. It's held in cold token storage, 3 levels down, offline. If something happens, either theft or something, they actually have recourse. They're able to get their money back, and so now it fits within their investment policy statement to be able to invest in these tokenized securities. And so that's what opens up in terms of opening up the secondary market for peer-to-peer trading and other sort of liquidity. The biggest thing that I see lacking is transfer agent.
Okay.
So right now, essentially, if you have over 2,000 investors on your cap table, you trigger 12G reporting requirements, which are pretty strenuous and a bit of a cost burden on the companies. One way to get around that is you work with a digital transfer agent. VStock Transfer, second largest in the world, I believe, is getting into it. Just spoke with their CEO and chairman. They're moving in digital transfer agent space very rapidly here and aggressively.
Yeah.
Computershare, the largest transfer agent in the world, has expressed the appetite to get in the space. And what that does is it opens up, you can't have a market. You can't have volume and true trading with only 2,000 investors. That limit. Well, if you have 20,000 or 200,000, there's so much more liquidity being created. There's more volume. There's more trading, and there's much more of a market. And so that's the other piece that's really important. There's this promise of end liquidity with all these tokenized securities. The first platform, Open Finance Network, is launching relatively soon. T0 is supposed to be this January. Bitrex, Binance, Coinbase, they're all have bought ATSs and broker dealers. And with those, they're developing a security token platform that's completely compliant and SEC compliant. And with that, those things are actually opening up, right? And then also you have folks like New York Stock Exchange, the parent company ICE, Intercontinental Exchange, that announced the launch of Bakkt. They're rolling that out. I think Bitcoin futures go live on the 12th of December. Canadian Stock Exchange is building a security token exchange. Fidelity Investments launched Fidelity Digital Asset Services, which is extremely important both for digital custody as well as for trading. And the most important piece of that is they have 13,000 institutional investors they're targeting that towards. And so we're starting to see the early indications of the traditional financial infrastructure being merged with blockchain technologies that actually can combine to offer a lot of advantages. New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ were built on decades-old technology. That's why there's 3-day settlement. And now there's a huge advancement because now they can do 2-day settlement.
Yes.
Well, guess what? We can do 5-minute settlement on the blockchain.
Yeah.
Right? And so why wouldn't you want that? We could do it much cheaper as well. So, once again, it's 24/7 trading and transfer and control versus only during market hours.
Yeah.
So these are some of the restrictions of some of the traditional trading platforms.
That's why it's so exciting.
The public markets, right? And like they're understanding and they're seeing and they're evolving to accommodate for that, because this is the sort of new era of digital finance. And so, we're entering this modern era. For us, we're building a platform or marketplace, but ultimately, where we think we'll probably have the most interest is on the white label licensable product that we package it up to. So we were just speaking with a commercial broker today, and he's super interested. He has sponsors and investors that want to do this, and he'd be a partner. He could white label it, so it looks like they're the ones bringing innovation to their clients, which they love. They have the investor relationships and the sponsors already, and we're just in the back end running the technology. And so we think, for us, right now it's a very cooperative environment, and what we see is the more education that is done out there by all of us in the space, the more it's de-risked, and the more folks can start feeling comfortable to come in, and the more we partner with each other and within the ecosystem. I think there's it creates a rising tide lifts all boats right now, and so I think we're in this very cooperative stage of just trying to define, educate people of what this is all about and why they should be interested, really.
Yeah.
And so it's an exciting time to be in the space, and really enjoyed speaking with you.
No, absolutely, man. You're so energetic, and I'm really excited for your company. And it sounds like everything's going to be great.
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it.